Sigma men are the mysterious lone wolves who live outside the bounds of the established social order. Extremely bright, refined, extremely independent. However, there is a darker side beneath their fascinating appearance, a robotic side. Cool, planned out, but unquestionably captivating. We will explore the 8 gloomy aspects of every Sigma guy in this session. The first principle is to make decisions without feeling. Sigma men are skilled at using logic and rationale. They make decisions with a measured attitude, eliminating any feelings that might impair their reasoning. Because they can make decisions without emotion, they can objectively evaluate situations and select the best course of action. They prioritize facts, data, and results over emotions, frequently attaining outcomes that others could think are unattainable. However, there is a cost to this separation. They might seem chilly and emotionless. Because they prioritize efficiency over empathy, their strong emphasis on logic could cause them to make decisions that others see as cruel. Consider the well-known trolley problem. 5 people are about to die in a runaway trolley. By pulling a lever, you may redirect it, but one person will still die. The majority of individuals are immobilized by emotion. A Sigma man would immediately pull the lever, with the goal of reducing loss. They view hesitation as inefficiency. Because of this mindset, they are a force to be reckoned with in leadership, negotiation, and crisis situations. However, it also separates them. They see mathematics where others see morality. Number 2. Masterful manipulators. Sigma guys are able to master manipulation because they have a strong understanding of human psychology. They are astute observers who are always evaluating others in order to learn about their intentions, wants, and weaknesses. This knowledge enables them to subtly sway others, directing events toward their objectives without ever coming across as aggressive. In some cases, all it takes is asking the right question. At other instances, the concept is planted with such expertise that the other individual genuinely believes it to be their own. Sigmas prefer to operate undercover as opposed to blatant manipulators. Their impact is frequently unnoticed, like a chess player who plans out 3 moves ahead. The Sigma has an inexplicable talent for making things happen, but most individuals are unable to see how it does it. Sigmas are enigmatic and powerful because of this delicate control. They may be extremely unpredictable, in the opinion of some. To others, they are master strategists who always seem to be 2 steps ahead. Number 3. Social chameleons. Sigma males have an extraordinary capacity for fitting into any situation, even though they are frequently seen walking by themselves. They may mimic actions, pick up speaking patterns, and take on roles that give them access to the knowledge or connections they need. This is not about trickery but about strategic integration. Although they can move between all groups, Sigmas are not exclusively a member of any. They have the ability to move between the boardroom and the back alley with ease, catching on to subtleties that others miss. However, they are still emotionally distant, even with their flexibility. They prioritize their autonomy over belonging. For them, a group is a resource, not an identity. Being proficient in many languages is similar to never being truly from anywhere, despite being able to communicate in all of them. Because they are detached, they are both flexible and isolated. 4. Disguised intentions. A Sigma man has a maze of hidden motives behind his placid demeanor. They seldom disclose their real goals. They choose, however, what they reveal to other people. Their minds are constantly churning out long-term plans, frequently many years in advance. Their actions may appear impulsive or unexpected to those outside of the group. However, the reality is that they have been preparing the entire time. This secrecy generates both mystery and mistrust. Even if they can't place their finger on it, people may frequently feel that Sigmas are up to something. Others may feel uneasy by this sense of unpredictability, particularly those who favor openness. Sigma's strength comes from secrecy. Leverage is gained by having undisclosed knowledge. Number 5. Having an intellectually superiority complex. Sigma guys are really smart, and they are well aware of it. Sometimes, this awareness might grow into an intellectual superiority complex. They prioritize their intelligence above all else, which may lead them to disregard other people's viewpoints. The Sigma may dominate discussions and disregard viewpoints that contradict his own, making them one-sided. This hubris may restrict cooperation. Despite being correct most of the time, they occasionally fail to see the worth of other perspectives. After all, innovation depends on a variety of ideas, not simply exceptional individual ability. Sigmas become more aware of this defect, the more self-aware they are. They consciously resist arrogance, reminding themselves that wisdom can be found everywhere, even in unexpected voices. However, the impulse to discount others is a persistent struggle for many. 6. Calculated isolation. Males in the Sigma group frequently retreat into deliberate isolation. Sigmas, unlike introverts who merely seek solitude, seclude themselves on purpose. This isolation is a tactic. They foster an atmosphere where they may concentrate, plan carefully, and be productive by eliminating distractions. No sound, no intervention. Simply concentrate. Additionally, they are protected by isolation. They lower the danger of betrayal, manipulation, or dependency by restricting social connections. They are untouchable in their isolation. They rule their own world. However, there are hazards involved. Extended isolation may lead to detachment and even paranoia. Their icy independence can make human contact seem pointless over time, or even worse, like a liability. Number 7. Exploiting weaknesses. Reading people is one of the many talents of Sigma guys. They observe hidden anxieties, small pauses, and anxious tics. Additionally, they are free to use these flaws when they have to. This might entail recognizing an adversary's blind spot and seizing the opportunity to attack. Using one's understanding of another person's emotional patterns to manipulate events in a relationship can be considered leverage. It's not always personal for Sigmas. It's all about planning. A coping mechanism. People are seen as puzzles, with flaws being just cracks in the framework. Although many Sigmas live by their own moral code and avoid unethical exploitation, the possibility is always there. Their capacity for observation is both a gift and a weapon. Number 8. Moral ambiguity. Their moral ambiguity may be their worst quality. They are not bound by the laws of society regarding what is right and wrong. Instead, they write their own code based on logic and their own beliefs. They become unpredictable as a result. They can make choices that others are afraid of, behave in a way that others disapprove of, and defend choices that seem harsh. According to the Sigma, there are no clear boundaries between good and bad. It depends on the context. Versatile. Relative. Their independence enables them to push boundaries and question accepted standards. However, it also puts them at odds with those who are devoutly devoted to tradition. Sigmas don't question, is this right? They ask, does this make sense? Conclusion. The Sigma man is a representation of both intellect and danger, shadow and force, independence and isolation. Understanding these negative characteristics is not about celebrating them. Rather, it is about acknowledging the dual nature that exists in each of us. Without shadow, there can be no light. And maybe by delving into the Sigma's gloomier side, we can gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. Which of these characteristics spoke to you the most then? Did you notice reflections of yourself or of others you know? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. For a more in-depth look at the Sigma, if you have a male attitude, check out our other videos. We appreciate you watching and participating in this community. Click the like button, subscribe, and be sure to stay tuned for what's next if you're ready to keep moving forward on your path to self-mastery.